Once upon a time, in the age of steam and candlelight, there was a tranquil English village, resting among misty emerald hills. Life moved slowly there, as smoke curled lazily from chimneys, and the morning light kissed the cobblestone streets. In one of those quiet cottages lived a young man named David. His nights were restless, and his mind was immersed in a whirl of endless thoughts. He would sit by the window, staring out into the rain, haunted by memories of the past and fearful of the days to come. His nights are streets. On a cold autumn morning, while wandering through the cobblestone streets, David heard the whispers of a wise man living in the distant northern hills. A wise man who was once famous in the great city of London as a researcher of the human mind. Since then, he had abandoned the bustle of progress and sought refuge in the tranquility of nature. David packed a small leather bag and began his journey into the fog. After days, David crossed quiet forests and listened to the whispers of rivers to the rocks. He walked under a sky that seemed to breathe with him. The farther he went, the more peaceful he felt. When the sky turned amber and twilight gently settled over the valley, David finally arrived. Before him was a modest cottage covered in ivy, bathed in the golden evening darkness. On its porch sat an old man, his silver hair glittering like frost under the dim sun, and his eyes closed in quiet stillness. Marco approached respectfully and whispered, "My lord, my mind is a storm. I am torn between regret and fear. I seek peace if it truly exists." The old man opened his eyes and smiled, like the dawn breaking after a storm. The wise man filled a crystal glass with water to the brim. He said, "Take this and walk to the edge of the village and back. But remember, do not spill a single drop." David accepted the challenge. Holding the cup carefully, trembling, he began to walk. The village was bustling with sounds and movement, carts clattering, merchants calling out their goods, and children laughing in the streets. But David saw and heard none of this. His gaze was fixed on the water, and every step he took was calculated and precise. He carried the cup carefully and walked through the noisy village. Children played, dogs barked, merchants called out. But David saw and heard nothing. His world became nothing but the water. Minutes passed, perhaps an hour, and when he finally returned to the hut, the old man was waiting for him with a knowing smile. "Well, my son," David, panting but triumphant, said, "I did it." Not a single drop fell. The wise man smiled. "Well, my son, did you see the children or hear the dogs?" David shook his head. "No, sir. I saw nothing but water." The old man's smile became deeper, wise and warm. "So, you have already found the answer. When your mind fully settles in this moment, there is no room for the sadness of the past or the fears of the future. Here the storm calms, and in this stillness lies peace." And at that moment, something in David lightened. The anxiety that had haunted him for years began to dissipate like mist in the morning light. He bent down and whispered, "Peace was never far from me. It was inside me all along." The old man's eyes shone like starlight. "Indeed, my son. The mind is calm when it lives in the now." As the crimson sun set below the horizon and the first lamps appeared, David turned towards his home. But he was no longer the young man burdened by the pressures of thought. His steps were lighter, his heart at peace, and in his soul, a quiet dawn began to rise. In the journey of life, we continue searching for peace in places, people, and things. But we forget that tranquility cannot be bought or given. It is discovered when we remain silent for a while and listen to our inner selves. When we live in the past, we carry the burdens of regret, and when we worry about the future, we lose the pleasure of the moment. But when we are here, in this now, every breath becomes a prayer, and every moment a gift. Peace is not an escape from reality, but a calm awareness amidst the storm. Love for people despite their differences, and patience in the face of pain without losing the light in our hearts. Life is not a battle we win, but a path where we learn how to be present, grateful, and peaceful. If you enjoyed our story from the beautiful Victorian era, don't hesitate to like it and share it with your loved ones. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. Thank you for your kind attention. See you in a new story full of wisdom and lessons. Until then, may you be in God's safety and protection.